Welcome everyone to race number 2 for the Race for ALS Charity Championship with NBR. We are at Mugello Autodromo Internazionale. I don't speak Italian, so that's not my strong suit. But we're here with an endurance race, the one out of 2 endurance races for the championship. These endurance races will have double scoring points for all those who finish, so drivers are highly encouraged to finish this race as it will score double points. It's huge. We're about to get qualifying underway as we have a new runner-up who was not here last week, Chavez in the number... Sorry, I gotta relook at this. Chavez in the number 69 Lotus. We also have several returning drivers. We also have a new sign-up, TJT Oliver in the number 33. A possible sign-up from LMP Juicebox, but we'll hold on to that. He looks like he might attend. We'll wait until after qualifying. We're going to see if everybody's ready to go for qualifying. Once everybody's ready to go, we'll get things started. The Race for ALS Championship is raising funds and awareness for the ALS Association. Donate today by donating either to the Twitch donations. Thank you, Ultra Prime, for the $15 donation, or to the PayPal fundraiser that will be linked in the Twitch in the description of the YouTube video. Alright, let's get qualifying underway as we get started here at Mugello. Alright, and we're on board with Mr. Sunshine for qualifying. I accidentally loaded into the session, so we had a little bit of a gap there. And here is the first lap of qualifying. We'll have to see how this all plays out. It is just a hot lap for now, as everyone's going to get their tires warmed up and get warmed up to the track. See several familiar faces here today. We have Mr. Sunshine, Oliver, Chavez. No, Chavez is familiar to NBR. Goodness, my game audio is really quiet right now. I can't fix that because my headset's a little messed up, but well, we'll vibe with it. Here we go, as we're getting through the first few corners of the racetrack. Let me pull up my track map on here, on my screen, so that we can get the corner numbers up. Coming through the... well, I guess the top section or the bottom section of the track. Two very fast winding corners. This track is a very flowy track. It's a very difficult track to get right. It's very fun as well. Honestly, it's one of my most favorite tracks to drive. It's one of my favorite tracks to race, but it is very tricky to be good at. Holy moly, why is this image zoomed in so much? There we go. Here we go. They're coming up through turns 13 and 14, rounding out to turn 15, which is that big hairpin at the end of the track. This is a very critical corner for this track because it gives you a massive run into the long start-finish straightaway. This is one of the biggest passing opportunities on the track. If you can get the run out of turn number 15 correct, you'll get a good run into turn 1, which is a pretty hefty braking zone, especially for how fast you can get at the start of the start-finish straight. And here we go. We're on for the first hot laps of race number 2, or the Race for ALS Charity Championship at Mugello. This is a double point scoring race, so every position counts. We hear all those cars driving by. Mr. Sunshine, a runner-up to first position in last race, unfortunately threw it away, getting some damage towards the end of the race. Relampago was able to hold his own and stay consistent. Larry B. the G, unfortunately having some rough times in the last race at Maple Valley, was able to come home third, though, behind Sunshine. Now here's the real rivalry brewing between Sunshine, Larry B. the G, and Relampago, who they are all in the top 3 places for points so far after the first race. Now double points is going to mean a whole lot to the championship. Everybody who's shown up to this race is going to get a lot of points, and even if you miss the first round, the double points might also give you an advantage here. We'll have to see how all this plays out. Sunshine very clean through here. Running in 4th gear, low RPMs. Kind of interesting, it doesn't seem to shift into 3rd there. It might be an interesting tune there. When I was running laps around this track, I was holding 3rd through those corners. It seems like he has the car set up that is giving him just the perfect amount of rotation. These little Lotuses are very light on their toes. They're very quick to snap around, but they're also very understeery. And through turns number 12, heading towards 13 14, the quick chicane. This is a very fast chicane. It's very hard to get, like, if you mess it up, it goes really wrong. And wow, Sunshine with the car control, a beautiful setup on that car, is able to take it almost flat out, a little bit of a lift. And here we go, rounding out the first set of hot laps for everyone, coming through turn number 15. Car number 8 of Sunshine, about to cross the start-finish line. My computer's not cooperating. And Sunshine takes provisional pole with a 2:00.853. A beautiful lap from Sunshine. Followed up closely behind is TJT Oliver with an 0:235. I didn't see that again. Larry B the G with a faster lap than Oliver, but it doesn't seem to be clean. Great first set of laps. Let's hop on board with Oliver, who's holding second position in the number 33 car. Provisional third position, of course. Excuse me for a moment. I'm trying to adjust my computer so that I can see everything properly. There we go. We're on board with Oliver here. Set a beautiful lap. Top speed of the session, 160 miles an hour, held by Larry B the G so far. Chavez holding provisional third place. So far, it looks like Larry B the G, Relampago have not been able to set clean laps. We'll have to see where they place after setting clean laps. It's very easy to run wide and set a dirty lap here. See Relampago and Oliver setting pretty similar laps. Oh, Relampago, no, TJT Oliver running really wide there out of turn number 11. Heading into turn number 12, it's a long sweeping right-hander. And you got to get the exit on this one right, too. It's all about exit speed at Mugello, especially heading into the chicane. But if you're holding too much speed... Whoa! Chavez back there with a very loose car is just drifting it. Is that... That is. Oh, Relampago has a livery today. That's awesome to see. We see Chavez just whipping the car around back there. We see we're rounding out a second set of hot laps here. We'll see where everyone's going to place. Not too much movement. Mr. Sunshine just a tenth slower than his last lap. Larry B the G unable to improve much. It's still similar. Relampago brings up to provisional second place with a 021 something something. I didn't see it on the ticker. It'll come back around. That means an 021.318. Oliver still holding second. Has moved down to third now with a respectable lap. Unable to improve on the previous lap though. So hop on board the number 51 of Relampago. Beautiful little livery on that Lotus. I love it. Chavez unable to improve. Lost 2 seconds on that last lap. Eros unable to improve. 7/10 down. Ultra Prime with 6 seconds up on their previous lap. Really good drive there. 2 second. Okay, maybe that... Did that just update? I think it may have just updated because they crossed the line. We're on board with Relampago. Is Relampago going to be able to make the push up to first place? I didn't see in practice Larry hitting the 2-second flat laps. It's just barely a 2-second flat from Sunshine, as Sunshine's down a tenth on their previous lap. Still beneath the 2-second margin. Larry B the G still setting 2:02s right. 2:02. Yeah. No, 2:12. Sorry. Keep mixing that up. Is unable to improve so far. I believe their laps have still been dirty. They're going to have to set a clean lap to be able to improve here. Very close battle for grid positions. Now, this is an endurance race, so grid position is not going to matter all that much when you're an hour and a half in. What's really going to matter is how consistent you can be. And we can see Sunshine's putting in very consistent laps within a tenth of their previous ones. Very good driving. Larry B the G also very consistent so far. Relampago into the pits. Curious if they had damage. That's not going to be an improvement on their previous lap. Let's hop on board with Larry B the G. Unable to move a tenth down on their previous lap. Stays stead put in their current position. Curious if they have any damage as we're on board with the number 5 of Larry B the G. Beautiful yellow Lotus. Around Mugello. Maybe the G had a similar thing happen in qualifying. He might not be able to akin to the pressure too well of having to set a very fast lap, a clean, very fast lap under a certain set time. I personally struggle with it a lot. But he is not slow, as we saw at Maple Valley last week. Number 5 of Larry B. the G was on Sunshine's tail for a majority of the race. Unfortunately, had some incidents pop up in the middle of the race that set him back down the order a little bit. Luckily, he was still able to hold a solid 3rd position. He was set for a 2nd position if there wasn't many incidents. Relampago won, taking his first victory at NBR last week by staying consistent. That's all it took. Chavez knocking 4 seconds off his previous lap. Oliver improving a whole second, nearly a second and a half on his previous lap. Still holding 3rd place with a 02.02.852. It's a good lap from Oliver, very respectful time. Arrow struggling back there with an 02.07, unable to improve much further. Sunshine with a much slower lap that time, almost 2/10 down. We'll see how this plays out. Well, that was the previous lap. We'll see how this plays out as they cross the line here, rounding out another set of hot laps. And Larry B. the G takes provisional pole with a 2:00.635, an incredible lap from Larry B. the G. Mr. Sunshine still not far behind, improving on his previous lap. Oliver knocking another 7/10 off of his previous lap. Still holding provisional 4th place now. Let's hop on board with Eros if we can see why they're struggling so much during qualifying here. Curious if they have damage. No damage reported from Eros. Mugello is a very difficult track to be fast at. Specifically, you need a very good setup to be faster as well. Ultra Prime with a very respectable 2:13 so far. Working on knocking down the time. Eros also has been working at the time a little bit. Good improvement from last lap. 6/10 off the previous set time. Eros seems to be struggling to set a clean lap, running wide on those curbs. It's very easy to, trust me, I've been there. See if the number 62 car, no wait, not 62, number 72 car is able to perform during the race. And there's still a battle for pole position here, as Larry B. the G and LL Mr. Sunshine are very close on pace. See if Relampago is able to get back up there after pitting. He's going to have a bit of work to do. He's going to have to come out on an out lap and then sit a hot lap. Well, he might not have time. Arrow's getting a little squirrely there. It looks like the rear of the car stepped out a little bit. Beautiful livery on that Lotus. It's a very historical livery for the Lotus team. If you're just tuning in, this is the Race for ALS, a charity championship hosted by NBR. All funds and donations will be going straight to the ALS Association. Drivers have a chance of winning a copy of the new Motorsport coming out, Forza Motorsport, coming out in October. Eligible participants must be in the United States to receive prizes. All drivers who participate in the championship who finish in the top 20 in the leaderboard will receive a special livery exclusive to the championship. They'll be awarded after the championship is completed. Alright, another set of hot laps have gone through, and it looks like no one was able to move around too much. Eros unable to improve much there. Chavez setting 8/10 faster lap that time around. It's on board with Ultra Prime, who's in the pits, possibly taking damage. Hop back on board for the battle for pole position. We're hopping on board with Larry B the G, who's holding the currently fastest time in the whole session and the fastest top speed at the end of the straight with 160 miles an hour. Incredible speed from these little Lotuses. And then number 5 of Larry B the G with an 02.00.635, taking provisional pole. Qualifying is rounding out, so drivers are running out of time to set laps. Arrows DNFs from the qualifying session. Their fastest time will still be saved, but they have retired from the qualifying session. And I think that's it. That is all the time we have left for laps. We'll have to see how this plays out for the other drivers crossing the line. Sunshine, able to improve with a 2:00.6 something? I didn't catch it. Oliver able to improve on their last lap as well. Relampago improving from their previous lap as well, but unable to make any moves up the order. And last but not least, Relampago unable to improve from their previous lap. They just crossed the line. I apologize. And that is qualifying for race number 2 at Mugello completed. We'll read the grid results now, and we'll get the race going soon. Starting on pole, we have Larry B the G with an 02.00.635. Following up on row number 1 is Mr. Sunshine with a 02.00.853. Starting in third place, starting row number 2, is where's Relampago with an 02.01.318. Starting number 4th on row number 2, 02.02.126 of TJT Oliver. Starting row number 3 in 5th position is actually Ultra Prime. No, sorry, Eros. I'm misreading stuff. I thought it was a clean lap. Eros Stefanek with an 02.06.616. And rounding up the grid so far is Ultra Prime with an 02.12.832. Alright, we're going to be back once we have the race settings all set up and everyone good to go. Thank you all for watching qualifying. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back, everyone, for race number 2 of the ALS Charity Championship at Mugello for a 90-minute race almost with 45 laps of fun at Mugello. This is a charity championship, so all funds and proceeds will be going to the ALS Association, helping drive funding, research, and support to fight ALS. Donate into PayPal or to the Twitch stream live now. And let's get this underway. I believe everybody's ready to go, so I'm going to get things rolling. We had a great qualifying session. We have 2 new entries from qualifying. They're going to be racing with us. We have 2 new entries, LMP Juicebox and Zeus. Alright, here we go. Race number 2 of the Race for ALS Charity Championship at Mugello is about to begin. We are going to be on board with Larry B the G for the start here. It is a grid start, so off the line they go. This will be a very, very crazy race. And here we go. We are green, green, green at Mugello. Everyone's getting a green start. LMP Juicebox was a pretty speedy start back there. Relampago and Mr. Sunshine on top of each other 2 by 2 as they go into turn number 1. Larry's still on the lead. Relampago looking up to the inside into turn number 1. It's not going to make it happen. A little bit of contact between LMP Sunshine and Relampago. Chavez getting into the mix. Let's hop on board with Relampago because there's a little bit of action coming in for the second place. Relampago is going to take second position so far and is going to try and send it on Larry B the G. Chavez and TJT Oliver also battling it out back there for the mid pack. And Relampago is going to dive to the inside as they go down into turn number 8. Turn number 6, and now into turn number 7, sorry. No, I'm getting the turn numbers all messed up. That was turn number 4 and 5. Now they're going to 6 and 7. And Relampago on the inside. Sunshine. Sunshine's going to try and contest around the outside. It's not going to happen, but Relampago's going to have a less of a run. And Sunshine's going to try to go around the outside. The fast sweeper, and wow, what a switchback from Sunshine. He's going to get the position. Yes, he's going to secure the position. Going into turn number 8. Heading to turn number 9. He's going to have a good advantage on Relampago there. So hop on back with LL Mr. Sunshine in the number 8 Lotus. What a move. We see Chavez and TJT Oliver battling behind. On board with Chavez and the number 69 Lotus. Defending from TJT Oliver now. As they're rounding out lap number 1. heading towards turn number 15, a long sweeping right-hander. It's a very tricky corner, and it's very easy to mess up. Battle for the lead is expanding, and now whoa, LMP Juicebox starting to get into the mix back there, or making his way through the grid, possibly to contest the leaders. On board with TJT Oliver and the number, oh god, I forgot what he signed up with, and the number 33 Lotus. Oh, LMP Juicebox got into a little bit of an incident back there. Let's see what happened. Oh, hopping back on board with LL Mr. Sunshine. It looks like TGT Oliver also had a run, but Relampago hot on the tail now as they go down the front start-finish straight, rounding out to lap number 2. Relampago in the draft of Mr. Sunshine. That could be a big difference down this massive straight. This is the main area for passing, unless you can get alongside. A little bit of a lockout from Relampago as they go into turn number 1. Heading into turn number 2 and 3. Very, very tight, slow corners. Larry B the G hanging out a little bit, a second up away from Mr. Sunshine already. The first few laps pass. The gap's getting a little bit bigger there as we hop on back with TGT Oliver, who's within half a second of Chavez. Chavez running a little bit wide at turn number 3, heading down to turn number 4 and 5 section. Chavez running real wide there, but is able to hold it. Oliver on the attack here. That beautiful purple number 33. Within 2/10 now, as they're coming into turn number 6 and 7. A very tricky group of corners because it's very fast, very flowy. You gotta hold as much speed as you possibly can as we see LMP Juicebox back there. We'll keep an eye on the times of the top 3 in the bottom left there. It's a very long race, so if you throw all of your energy away early on, it's going to be a little rough to catch up because this is a long race. An hour and 30 minutes to be exact. So I hope everybody's able to hang in there for this entire ordeal. It's a long race. Ooh, Chavez making a bit of a mistake there. Oliver on the attack once more. Into turn number 12. Oliver lost a bit of time there. Juicebox is coming on the attack now. Keeping an eye on the times at the bottom left there for the top 3. As Larry, Mr. Sunshine, and Relampago are very close on pace so far in this race. Looks like Oliver is getting a little bit away from Chavez now. Chavez pulling the distance apart. Ooh, Oliver getting into the sand, running a little bit wide on the exit of turn number 15. Really easy to do, and it looks like LMP Juicebox is going to just breeze on by. Now he's going to get the draft, but it's not going to be enough to fix that terrible run he's got, unfortunately, from touching the sand there. Hop back on board with LL Mr. Sunshine in the middle of Larry B the G and Relampago. Relampago falling off the pace a little bit. 1.4 seconds split them apart now. But Relampago, even though he was a bit slower, about a second slower than the top 2 guys at Maple Valley, his consistency led him to win the race. One might see that here tonight because this is all an endurance race at Mugello. It's 1 hour and 30 minutes approximately, without safety cars and whatnot. So I have to see how they're able to pull this together. It's all about consistency, and Mugello is a stickler for consistency. Little mistakes can cost you big amounts of time. You see Oliver in the back, Prime and Zeus bringing up the rear of the grid. Still a lot of racing to go. Oh, Mr. Sunshine getting really squirrely there. It looks like he may have lost some time. Relampago catching up within a second now as he was beyond a second there. A bit of a squirrely move. May have touched the sand a little bit. I was trying to adjust my charger so it wasn't hitting me. I did not see it, unfortunately. Well, we have another pack in the middle growing together. As we see Chavez, LMP Juicebox, and TJT Oliver. It's going to be a very long race. Pits are also going to play a factor here in strategy and how things are going to go. Relampago, 0.6 seconds away from Mr. Sunshine. Sunshine getting a better exit, though, as it looks like the gap was exceeding a little bit. Let's see, Relampago might still be in the draft. We'll keep an eye on the times at the bottom left. We see Juicebox trying to catch up to Chavez now, taking different lines. We'll see if LMP Juicebox is able to contest for the top 3 here, because if there's a safety car or any kind of incidents like that, there's a solid chance Juicebox could contest for the lead, because he has pace. He's just a little bit slower than Mr. Sunshine. but is not out of contesting. It's a great performance from everybody driving here tonight. This is going to be a very long one. Anybody is in to win here. It's very unlikely that we'll have a safety car tonight just due to the nature of this track. Oh, Chavez getting a little squirrely. Is this going to be LMP Juicebox's time to attack here as we're coming into turns number 4 and 5? Hard on the brakes. Very tricky, slow but sweeping corners. All about your exit speed. Sounds like Juicebox is slowly catching up. Oliver might be able to get into the mix there if they start battling. Ooh, Chavez running a little bit wide, getting a little squirrely. Heading into turn number 7. Juicebox on the attack now. He's going to try and send it up on the outside coming into turn number 8. I don't know if he's going to have enough grip on the outside. No, he's not. He's going to have to slot back in behind, but he's going to slot into the inside into turn number 9. A very sketchy spot to try and pass. There's going to be contact. LMP Juicebox is going to get a little squirrely as he hit the rear left or the rear right quarter panel of Chavez and is going to slot back in behind. Very close battle there as LMP Juicebox is still on the attack of Chavez, putting on that pressure. Chavez getting a little squirrely out of there. You can see he's going to be able to hold Juicebox up a little bit, but Juicebox is a lot quicker in this car so far as we've seen how fast he's able to dispatch Oliver. Well, here the real fight begins. Chavez is doing a great job defending, just making that Lotus as wide as possible. Juicebox getting a little squirrely. He's going to try and get the run into turn number 15, the final corner, running at lap number 4. Wow, watch how hard he was able to get on the brakes there. Chavez taking a different line, maybe trying to get a slower in, fast out approach. And look at this, Oliver's going to try and get into the mix now as Oliver's going to have the draft. And LMP Juicebox and Chavez are side by side down the front straight. This is going to be the slowest drag race you've ever seen. But LMP Juicebox might have the edge here as they're coming past the start-finish line. Juicebox is ahead. No, he's not. He's not ahead. I thought he was from that angle. They're just side by side. Oliver was getting into the mix there. We'll see if he's able to make anything happen here. Chavez on the inside into turn number 1. This is kind of equal depending on where you are, because if you're on the outside and you're able to hold it, you're on the inside going into turn number 2 and 3. And Juicebox is going to try and contest the inside, but he's going to have to slide in behind. Was not close enough to make it happen. Chavez is going to have a less of an ideal line coming out. Oh, and there's a very close. They're getting really close. Mr. Sunshine on Larry B. the G will have to swap on over the bat as soon as this drama is over. 9 of the times. Oh, and Chavez makes a mistake, goes really deep into turn number 5 and a little bit of contact. Chavez trying to get back at LMP Juicebox there, but the door was shut. LMP Juicebox can get by. Oliver trying to contest on the inside now, going into turn numbers 6 and 7. Oliver contesting now is on their outside, going into turn number 7. Less than ideal spot, and they're going to get a little squirrely. And LMP Juicebox has dispatched the position. We'll hop on board for the battle for the lead. Mr. Sunshine versus Larry B. the G. That gap came down within, I think, 2/10 there. It was very close, as now they're within half a second. Relampago backing off a little bit. Keep an eye on the times as there's still a battle in the midfield. We'll hop back on board with the midfield battle with Oliver contesting Chavez as they're going into turn number 12 in their fast right-hand corner. Not a very good passing opportunity, but we can see how close that gap is. Now the gap to Larry B, the G, and Mr. Sunshine is expanding a little bit. We'll keep an eye on that battle in the bottom left corner. Chavez getting a little squirrely coming out of the fast chicane. It looks like Oliver might be able to get the run here as they come into turn number 15, the final corner of the track. Chavez on the inside there. Is he going to get a good run onto the start-finish straight? This is where it matters. Is how it... Oh, shoot. I did not mean to do that. We'll hop back on board. The TJT Oliver. We're on the run down the start-finish straight. The battle for 5th and 6th position as LMP Juicebox slowly pulling away, but Juicebox was not prone to pure consistency. Oh, Chavez with a massive lockup into turn number 1. And a drift, and is going to let TJT Oliver by going into turn number 2 and 3. Very unfortunate for Chavez, but still has a... Oh, and Oliver's going to make it up, and Chavez is going to try and get back at him. Both drifting. Look at this. Are they pulling the handbrake on purpose? What a show of driving there. Show of skill. So coming into turn number 4 and 5, hard in the brakes. Side by side, still almost side by side. Chavez is going to have the upper hand here, but who's going to get the run? Is Oliver going to try and contest it? Coming down to the 6. He's not going to try and contest it, but he's going to try and send it a little bit on the inside, trying to get the outside into turn number 7. He's going to be able to get the better run. It's very hard to switch back there as the car runs wide perfectly. And oh my goodness! Has there been an incident on track? Larry B the G is in second position, and Mr. Sunshine's in first. As we have lap traffic, the cars are coming on lap traffic. We'll hop back on board with Chavez, who's coming up to a lapped car. I'm curious if that sparked Larry B the G to get past Sunshine, or Sunshine to get past Larry B the G. I was so in depth in this battle, I entirely forgot. I'm very sorry. I'll keep an eye on Larry B the G's time. Actually, let's hop on board with Larry B the G now, as he's battling Sunshine. Larry B the G gets first position back. Curious if that was a purposeful return, but we were not watching that too clearly. They're on the start-finish straight, rounding out lap number 6 onto lap number 7. Mr. Sunshine within half a second of the two. So far, everyone's clean driving, clean racing. Great show of driving from everybody so far. Mr. Sunshine within 3/10. Oh, a little lockup from Mr. Sunshine. Catching up to Larry, and Relampago is able to catch up a little bit due to this, and Sunshine's trying to put on the pressure here as we come into turn number 2 and 3. We saw these three battling it out at Maple Valley. These two specifically, Larry B the G and Mr. Sunshine. Mr. Sunshine on the attack now, putting pressure, literal pressure, on that rear bumper, pushing Larry B the G out of the way, trying to get past as they're going through the next set of S's, 4 and 5, as they're coming up to 6 and 7. They're very close. They're almost glued together close. Sunshine's going to back off a little bit because it can get a little sketchy. But now this battling and them slowing each other down has brought Relampago into the mix. I'm curious. Oh, big twitch from Sunshine there. Relampago's now on the attack of Sunshine. Sunshine's got to be defending from Relampago. And I'm curious if Larry B the G has damage of some sort, because it looks like he's driving really slow than normal. We'll hop on board and see if he has damage. No damage. Might just be a little out of sorts from that incident from what happened earlier. We'll hop on board with Mr. Sunshine, who's is under the attack of Relampago from behind. But a three-way duel for the lead as the mid-pack is backed off a little bit. Keep an eye on those gaps. Keep an eye on those times. These guys are almost equal gaps from each other now. It's kind of, it's accordioning. It's like going back and forth. The gaps, we'll see if Mr. Sunshine's able to catch up Larry B the G. Larry B the G has had a very good run so far, a very good lead of the race. See if Mr. Sunshine's able to take that away. Is kind of the opposite from Maple Valley. Mr. Sunshine had a very, very dominant lead and was contested by Larry, but Larry wasn't able to hold it very long. But now it looks like Larry might be having the upper hand on this track so far. He had an excellent qualifying performance. A few tenths faster than what Sunshine was able to muster up clean. Oh, and look at the back of the battle. We have another battle between Oliver and Chavez. Keep an eye on those times as we watch the battle for the top 3 right now. Double points, so every position counts. Sunshine and Larry, NBR regulars driving in other series, both are very quick and have been putting on some very good performances of speed. We'll see if Relampago is able to keep up a winning streak here. He's still uncontested for the lead here. We'll have to see what happens. Anything can happen. It's a very long race. An hour and a half is not nothing to muster around about. Anything can happen. I mean, cars can crash. There can be drivers disconnecting, retirements, running out of fuel, because pits are actually a big part of strategy in this race, as it is an endurance race. These cars throwing themselves around. It's beautiful to see these Lotuses driving as fast as they are. On board with Chavez. See TJT Oliver not too far behind, about a second splitting them now. They've been going back and forth with their gaps. They're very close on time. Chavez is a very quick driver. Unfortunately, had some issues with consistency in the Volvo TFG Spec Championship, but had some great pace and some great drives, and is showing off his skills here today with a solid 5th position holding right now. We'll see if he's able to hold it from TJT Oliver. I'm back on board with the leader, Larry B the G, with the number 8. With number 5, I apologize, I'm mixing up my numbers. LL's Mr. Sunshine is the number 8. Now under attack from Mr. Sunshine. I wonder if he made a little bit of a mistake, because look at the gap coming down. Larry B the G getting really wide on those curbs there, coming out of turn number 15. On to start finish straight, rounding out lap number 8. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my own words. Sunshine in the draft though. See if he's able to pull off any tenths from this. Relampago losing the gap a bit from these two. These two were at each other's throats at Maple Valley. We'll see if they're able to do it again, as Larry the G made a little bit of a mistake coming out of turn number 1. Sunshine was not able to capitalize it on too much, but look at the gap. It's coming down even closer. They are so close right now to one another. Is Sunshine going to be on the bumper again of Larry B the G, knocking at his door, trying to tell him, get out of the way. This is my position, and I'm going to take it one way or another. Oh, don't exit. Whoops. Coming down into turn number 6, heading to turn number 7. This is where Sunshine backs off a little bit. He's trying to get a better run into turn number 7 than 6. Because if Larry's taking the racing line... Whoa, Larry getting really squirrely, losing a bit of speed. It was a nice save, though. The car didn't get too unstable. A great drive from everyone here so far. Mr. Sunshine putting on the pressure to Larry B the G for first position at race number 2 at Mugello of the RFA Championship. Still a lot of laps to go. Lap number 9 of 45. We see Ultra Prime off the track there. The full gold Lotus. Ultra Prime having a pretty good drive at Maple Valley. It's hard to gauge how quick you are when you have Larry and Sunshine in the race, because they are absolutely rapid. They are ridiculously fast. We go Relampago getting past Ultra Prime scot-free. Oh, look at the bottom left. We have a battle between TJT Oliver and Chavez, but we'll keep an eye on the top battle here. Actually, you know what? We'll see if that gap goes down. Actually, we'll hop on board because I don't think anything's going to happen here yet. Oliver putting on the pressure to Chavez. Chavez, unfortunately, falling towards inconsistencies. Keep an eye on the battle for first, though, on the bottom left in the time. We can see Mr. Sunshine and Larry B the G right on top of one another. As look how close Oliver is to Chavez, but I think Oliver's going to have to pull out, or else he's going to start giving Chavez a bump draft bonus down the start-finish straight as they round out to start lap number 10. They go into turn 1 here. Watch the times at the bottom left. Larry B the G under attack from Mr. Sunshine. Look at that move from Oliver. Hard on the brakes into turn number 1. Beautiful move from the 33, but he's not left alone yet. So they still have the S's to go through. And it looks like Oliver might be securing this position for now. We'll keep an eye on the times. We hop back for the battle for first. Sunshine contesting Larry B the G. There's only so much pressure you can handle being in front. With all this pressure from Mr. Sunshine, he is putting it on Larry as hard as he can. We heard Sunshine complaining about possible losing into pressure from last race at Maple Valley. Imagine the pressure that's on Larry B the G right now, as they have done 10 laps so far, as Sunshine has not backed off one bit. Keep an eye on the battle between TJT Oliver and Chavez in the bottom left there. And Sunshine is long side, is going to have the outside going into turn number 15. Turn number 12, I apologize. As we see a lapped car ahead, I believe. Zeus getting really loose. Oh, where are they going to be able to go? Oh, there's contact. 2 places of contact between Sunshine and Larry B the G. Will hop on board to make sure there's no damage. Did they receive any damage? Sunshine, no. Did Larry B the G take any damage from that? No. Luckily, scot-free. That was a pretty hefty hit. It was just unfortunate they had nowhere to go. We'll hop on board with Zeus to see if he has any damage. Doesn't seem to have any damage, but he's burned his tires up pretty good. He might have to pit for that. Been losing the car a good bit, as Ultra Prime is lapping Zeus. Hopping on board with Mr. Sunshine. Luckily, the race was not interrupted by that little incident. We're still on board with the battle for first and second. Relampago not too far behind. Chavez still within a second of TJT Oliver. Keep an eye on that battle in the bottom left. These two were all over each other at Maple Valley, and they're proving to be all over each other again at Mugello. Is this where Sunshine's going to send it? He's going to slot in behind. Turn number 6 is not a very good spot to be able to send it in. It's very sketchy. Especially if you try to send it in turn number 6, you might end up getting a bad run to turn number 7. And that sets you up for a bad run to 8 and not. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing, sorry. Chavez and Oliver within half a second of each other. Still duking it out as before. LMP Juicebox lapped Ultra Prime. I thought they were battling each other. Wait a minute. LMP Juicebox is behind Chavez. I'm wondering what happened there. LMP Juicebox get into an incident. Was anyone unable to follow that? Maybe there was a car in the pits while we were watching that battle go on. Larry the G putting on a little bit of pressure onto track limits there. We'll see how stewards feel about this at the end of the race. So far not pushing it too far, but it's really easy to run wide. You got to be careful about that at Mugello. Close eye in the battle between Chavez and Oliver. Very close right now. Hop on board with Chavez and Oliver. We'll keep an eye. Whoa, whoa! Oliver getting a little squirrely, making a mistake there, and Chavez is within half a second there. Perfect time to switch over. We'll keep an eye on the battle between Larry B the G and Mr. Sunshine in the top right. I mean, top left, bottom left. I'm so out of it today. See Oliver in the draft of Chavez being dragged down the start-finish straight into turn number 1. Curious what happened there. It looks like they both made a mistake. See how they handle the exit of turn number 1 here. Chavez seemed to be struggling on the exit here as Oliver closes the gap and... Well, what happened? Hold on. Relampago takes second position from Mr. Sunshine. What happened? Did Larry B the G slow up? Because I thought I was crazy for a second, but Mr. Sunshine's dropped down the order to third position. Relampago in second. What happened? There's no lap traffic anywhere. Mr. Sunshine in third position. Relampago in second. I was right about Relampago still being in this. I'm wondering if they all went wide and just had Larry went wide and Sunshine went wide and they all rejoined at the same time. Keep an eye on the battle for 4th and 5th now as LMP Juicebox dropped down the order. Also keeping an eye on the battle here as Sunshine is now on the attack of Relampago. These guys are really close on pace, which means the further we get into this race, the more reckless people are probably going to get if the gaps stay this close. Chavez and Oliver duking it out. Very close battle in the back there. I'm curious if Juicebox got into one of the lapped cars possibly and got damaged. Well, car off the track. Looks like Zeus ran wide in turn number 4 and 5, and Sunshine is on the attack of Relampago down the start-finish straight. Is gonna have it. It's gonna have the move done into turn 1. No, it's gonna be very close. He does have the move done into turn 1. Very swiftly dispatching Relampago. What a run out of the final corners. We got back on board with Mr. Sunshine. It does prove, though, Relampago is still in the mix here to possibly win this race if things go right for him. Larry B the G seems to be buckling under pressure here and is losing time. Looks like there was some contact between the cars. Does Larry have any damage? No, but the tires are starting to go off a little bit, and Sunshine still slotting in behind. Car in the pits, we'll have to see who that is. It is Chavez pitting for the first time this race. LMP Juicebox going to go by. As Oliver has a good gap there, I'm curious if they got damaged or something. See Zeus off the track once more coming up here. See how this plays out. Larry B the G, Mr. Sunshine, and Relampago taking the top 3 positions so far for race number 2 of the Race for ALS Charity Championship. With Sunshine on the attack now, did he get a run out of turn number 9? Well, it looks like he did. He's going to try and contest it into 10 and 11. He's going to have the inside to 10, but it's going to be on the outside to 11. Who's going to be able to get the better run? Larry the G is going to run out of space to get a run, and it looks like Sunshine takes the lead of the race. Larry the G heading into second place now, with Relampago close behind. As they're coming up on lap traffic once more at the same spot of the track. We'll see how this goes. All of these guys very close on pace right now. Chavez now taking an early pit could mean big things. Ooh, and there's supposed to be blue flags here for Zeus. Zeus not getting out of the way, was on the racing line there. Fortunately, there may have been a mix-up. Zeus slotting in behind Sunshine. This is supposed to be a blue flag scenario. Oh, and this is really sketchy. Car's having to dodge the lap car. Oh my goodness, Zeus getting into Larry B the G. What is happening here? Whoa, 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 and Larry B the G and Zeus, and there's a big wreck on the front straight. What the hell happened? Larry B the G pushed Zeus, or they got Forza glued. Very confused to see what happened there. Does Zeus have any damage from that? Zeus does not have any damage. I'm curious if Larry B the G couldn't handle the car and got loose, but he's back on the attack. Relampago, I'm guessing no harm, no foul. We'll have to see a possible investigation from what happened there. It looked like a lack of blue flag procedures and Forza glue mixture. I'm curious what caused all that to happen, because that was very interesting. Larry B the G still in the contesting for the top 3. No safety car, we're still green at Mugello. LMP Juicebox having a very early pit stop probably means that he's going to be able to get Oliver when Oliver gets his pit stop. Chavez with the undercut strat on Oliver. We'll see how this goes as we're on board with Relampago holding second position. Mr. Sunshine holding first position. Larry's going to have to try and get past Relampago really quick. Relampago he was actually pretty far out of it at Maple Valley. Number 51 of Relampago struggling at Maple Valley on pace for the top 2, but is now in contestants for the top 3 all the way so far. So we're about to hit lap number 15 as the top 3 hit turn number 15. Relampago defending from Larry B the G. Relampago running real wide out of turn number 15, trying to get the best run he can. Larry B whoa! That was an illegal pit entry. That's definitely going to be a warning at least. Relampago diving into the pits last second as Sunshine dives into the pits. Larry B the G holding first position. Larry B the G had almost no fuel. As 3% fuel, is he going to be able to make it around? And Larry B the G coasting as much as he can on 1% fuel. Is he going to be able to make it back around the track? He's on 0% fuel coming into turn number 12. He still has a significant amount of the track to go. He's on 0%. We'll see how this plays out. Because Relampago and Mr. Sunshine, after pitting there, are going to be pushing as hard as they can. Now, this is not going to be good for Larry B the G at all as he's coasting. He's shifting as hard as he can to try and keep momentum in the car, to try and bring it to the pits. This is going to slow him down and actually might be more negative than positive. See Chavez within 1.7 seconds of Oliver here as we watch the back. As Larry B the G pulls into the pit lane now. We'll watch on board with Mr. Sunshine and Relampago. And it looks like Mr. Sunshine is going to get the undercut on Larry B the G. Starting lap number 16 of 45. Relampago's also going to get by Larry B the G. Larry coming out in third position. Now that the first three, Three drivers in the front now are backed out a little bit. Let's hop on board with the battle for the mid-pack. Chavez and TJT Oliver. Chavez getting past Zeus there, a lapped car. Oh, Zeus getting into the back of Chavez there. Goodness gracious. Luckily, Chavez was not affected too negatively by it. Within 1.3 seconds of TJT Oliver. We'll see how this plays out during the rest of the race. We'll keep an eye on the gaps of the top three. Mr. Sunshine, Relampago, and Larry B. the G. Three seconds splitting the top three, equally apart. Kind of nice to see that. Chavez and Oliver here. These two have gone at it before. They're both great drivers. Both very close on pace as we see Chavez catching up to Oliver as Oliver made a little bit of a mistake in a turn number... I apologize. Turn number... it doesn't matter anymore. We're already in turn number 10 and 11. No. Yes. I keep getting the map mixed up. I apologize. Ultra Prime lapping Zeus once more. Keep an eye on the map in the bottom left there as we can see the top three, number 1, 2, and 3, very close together. A good bit. We'll keep an eye on the battle between Chavez and Oliver for now. So there's still a lot of race to go. With a stopped car on track, Zeus is stopped on track. I believe he may be retiring. We'll have to wait and see what he's doing. He's just sitting on the track currently. We'll just keep an eye on that and hop on board with TGT Oliver and Chavez. LP Juicebox getting 4th position after getting a better pit round than Oliver and Chavez. Pitting a lot earlier than they both did. He's getting back into his position. I'm curious if there was an incident involving Oliver. I mean, not Oliver, LP Juicebox. With a stopped car on track. This is very concerning, actually. He should not be stopped on track unless he is retiring. On board with LMP Juicebox. First race in the RFA Championship so far. Going pretty good with a 4th place so far. Holding 4th place pretty sternly. And that stopped car is now moving. That is really risky as we hop on board with the leaders. That should not be happening. If you're stopped on track for that long, you need to retire. That is against the rules and will probably be black flagged for it. So you can see a slow car on track. This is very sketchy for the leaders as he's on the... What is he doing? Goodness gracious. That is going to be a black flag for Zeus. That is extremely reckless to put your car there on the racing line like that, on the apex. If you are lapped by the leader, you are, while stopped or while damaged, you are required to retire. I will just initiate that black flag real quick. Zeus, you've been black flagged. Please leave the game session. Several infringements in the rules. I can give you a list after the race is complete. Please leave the session. Close. Pull off the track and leave the session, please. Thank you. You can we can discuss it after the race. All right, and welcome back to NBR. Our first black flag of NBR, actually ever. Repeated infringements of the rules, unfortunately, will result in you being removed from the racetrack. However, we're not going to focus on the negative, and we're going to focus on the positive. As we're watching the battle for the lead, lap 19 of 45, still a long race to go. Oh, some great performances from everyone so far. Relampago holding the second position from Larry B. the G so far, and is getting gapped by Sunshine. Now, Sunshine pulling away for the lead significantly. Incredible lead by Sunshine so far. Relampago might be able to hold second position so far. A great drive from everyone so far. TGT Oliver has pulled away a good bit from Chavez. I'm curious if there's an incident there. LMP Juicebox holding up fourth, and Ultra Prime rounding out the back. And Zeus as a disqualification. Hop aboard with Larry B. the G, who's trying to catch up to Relampago right now, but might be struggling. Larry B. the G had a bad pit strategy, unfortunately. Went one lap too long. I'm curious if it was due to confusion of an issue during the race, or something in VC. Oh! Do we have a crash? No. Why is my... We do have a crash. Hold on. LMP Juicebox pulling off the track. Is this another DNF, possibly? He has 1% engine damage. What is happening here? Is LMP Juicebox retiring from race number 2 of the Mugello Championship race? Keep an eye on that. If he gets lapped, he will have to retire. See, still a lot of race to go. 20 out of 45 laps as we're on board with Relampago, who has some contestants from Larry B. the G. LMP under contestants from Relampago so far, and LMP Juicebox still stopped on the track. That might go under investigation if they get passed by the leaders here. As Larry B. the G and Relampago are coming up on lap traffic of Ultra Prime. Ultra Prime's pretty good at letting people with following the blue flag procedure, so hopefully this will go smoothly. Ultra Prime possibly overdid it on the blue flag procedures there, but good on him. Larry the G and Relampago still neck and neck. LMP Juicebox still stopped on track. Larry B the G going to the right into the final corner. Is he going to be able to get it on the exit here, holding around the outside? Incredible stuff. That is some crazy grip from that Lotus. They're heading on to the start-finish straight. Let's see who has the run here. Did Larry manage to get the run? And it looks like he may have. But Relampago is going to pull in front of him, or try to. He's going to try and squeeze him to the inside there on the pit exit line. But Larry B the G is going to get the move done as they're going into the turn number 1. Hard into the brakes. Is Larry going to secure the position? Larry securing the position. Oh, Relampago with a little shake there. Larry holding second position from Relampago. Is Larry going to try and get up to Sunshine? I mean, of course he's going to try and catch up. We'll have to see if it's possible. Still a lot of racing left, and anything can happen. Lumpy Juicebox still on the side of the road. He should retire at this point in the race. Unless there is a medical emergency, then it might be excused, but we'll see why. Larry B the G and Relampago still going at it. Lap 21 out of 45. Great driving from the top three so far. Great driving from everyone. Whoa, a little squirrely from Relampago. Getting twitchy. On the brakes. Here goes Larry. Try and figure out why Juicebox is stopped on track. Could possibly be another black flag for this session. And who is in the pits? Is it Ultra Prime? Oh, Chavez is in the pits, taking another pit stop for this race. Trying to figure out why Juicebox is stopped on track. Sorry, I'm trying to do administrative stuff in the server real quick, luckily. And we have another retirement. Alright. That was for external issues. LMP Juicebox had a call. We're still on board with the battle for the top three. We've lost 2 drivers so far. 1 retirement, 1 disqualification. Gap between Sunshine and Larry B the G. Almost 8 seconds now. Relampago to Larry is about 2.5. On board with the battle for the mid-pack, Oliver and Chavez. Chavez taking an early pit stop, trying to undercut DJT Oliver. We'll see how this plays out, as he's not very far behind. I'm not sure how long these pits are exactly, but we'll have to see how that plays out. Yeah, the feet clipping through the car is actually a normal thing in this car for some reason. We noticed it while we were doing testing and taking photos. Everyone's feet clips through the car in this car. It's very bizarre. And also the headlights light up when you press the brakes for some reason. Everything's kind of calmed down for now, but any mistake could cost somebody a position, so we'll see how this race goes so far. "24 out of 45 laps. Double point scoring race, so this is big for everyone who's participating so far. And who's that in the pits? Relampago? No, who's that in the pits? Ultra Prime into the pits. Sorry, I keep mixing it up. His pit stops. We'll see when Oliver has to make his pit stops. I think maybe Chavez was trying to go for an early pit stop or had damage. 37% fuel on TGT Oliver. I'm board with Chavez. See how this game plan plays out for Chavez. Being quiet for the commentary to let my voice rest a little bit. I was at a football game last night and may have ripped my vocal cords up a little bit. We're just gonna hop on board and watch the drives for now. It's a long track, so the gaps are gonna get a bit big. Hopping on board with Relampago. And I'm back. Sorry about the lack of commentary. I was resting my voice for a little bit. We're back, heading on to lap 27 out of 45. We're down to 5 drivers now, after losing a few due to incidents. 1 disqualification, and 1 retirement. Double the points race. This is a big one you want to finish, if you can. The race has calmed down a good bit. Everyone's spaced out. But even with them being spaced out, doesn't mean things can't happen. Consistency now is key, as well as sheer pace. Sunshine's going to have to keep putting up good lap after lap after lap, while Larry the G is going to be pushing as hard as he can to catch up. A 9-second gap is not impossible to catch, especially with how much race we still have left. This is a long race, peeps. A great drive from Sunshine so far, battling hard and fought through those first few laps. Now things are spread out. He's able to hot lap and consistently set good time laps. There be the G, struggling to catch a ridiculously fast driver. I believe Relampago is able to get back into the mix, but Relampago, even with a third place finish, is still going to be pretty high in the points of the championship, as this is only race number 2 out of 6. There is one more double points scoring race towards the end of the last race of the championship at Yas Marino. Have to see how everyone's points fare out, because that final race is going to be the one to, finish the whole thing. It's going to be the grand finale. On board with Ultra Prime. Lapped several times, but is still driving consistently. Props to Ultra Prime for sticking in there. This is a long race, but every lap you can see him improving very slightly, every little bit. Now this is good practice. And Mr. Sunshine into the pits. Larry B. the G taking the lead of the race once more. See if Larry B. the G is able to make up any time with this pit, as Sunshine is now undercutting. And we'll have to see how much fuel he has. 13%. He'll be able to make it this time, unlike the previous pit round. Catching up to Ultra Prime here. Relampago also into the pits. Oh, Ultra Prime off the track there, unfortunately. Back on board with LL Mr. Sunshine. Oh, Oliver with a controller disconnect. Into the pits. Curious if he got damage. He looks to be moving now. He may have ended up getting into the wall. TJT Oliver in 5th now. Following Chavez by 3.3 seconds. Is Larry going into the pits this lap? He has to. Mr. Sunshine. Did Larry stay out? What? Larry stayed out! He's running on 6%. He might be able to make it. He's lifting and coasting a lot, but is this going to be beneficial in the long run? We'll have to find out. Wait and see. Maybe the G making his way around the track. Is he going to make it on fuel? %. He might be able to make it. But look, this time, Sunshine is closer than he was last lap. So if Larry pitted, he would have been better off pitting last lap than trying to go around again. That is unfortunate for Larry's strategy. See if it's able to hold up. Well, Pago might get him as he goes into the pits here. Board with Mr. Sunshine. Lap 30 out of 45. We're rounding out the race now. Still got a lot to go. 15 laps left. And Sunshine blazes past Larry B the G as he's in the pits. We'll see if Verlin Pago is able to get him. Pago's a little bit farther back. So we also watch the battle for 4th and 5th at the back here. Pago does not get Larry by a long range. I wonder what happened. Oh, Pago also pitted with Sunshine. I'm on board with TGT Oliver and Chavez. Once again, very close, and we'll see if there's a battle forming here. TGT Oliver catching up to Chavez slowly but surely, getting closer lap by lap. Almost half a second there. They both make a little bit of a mistake running wide there. It looked like Oliver was going to be able to catch up there, but it looks like Oliver made the same mistake as Chavez did. The second set of S's before turns 6 and 7. Here we go, TJT Oliver on the attack of Chavez. Sorry I was so late to seeing that. I was updating something. Chavez was able to hold it so far as we're going into turn number 12. The fast right-hander, TJT Oliver, falling behind. Did we lose somebody? Oh, he was hidden by, okay. Fine, sorry. Into the final corner, side by side, Chavez and Oliver, rounding out the final corner of lap 32, heading to lap 33. No, they're rounding out lap 31, going to lap 32. Sorry, because they're in the back, I'm sorry. Oh, Oliver getting into the grass there, trying to pull a Michael Schumacher on Chavez. It's not going to work here, unfortunately. Are on the brakes. Seeing those brake rotors glowing. You can see they have different brake biases, as Oliver's didn't even glow red on the back, while Chavez's did. Half a second split them now as they go through the first set of S's, heading towards the second set. For 33 of TGT Oliver. Ooh, getting into the grass there. Be right back after this short ad break. Welcome back. We're on board with TGT Oliver in the battle, or 5th and 4th between Chavez and Oliver. That'll have been pretty close so far. Still within a second, Oliver putting on the pressure of Chavez. Chavez driving very valiantly and holding off TJT Oliver. Excellent drive so far. Second still splitting him. See if Oliver is able to move back up a position from where he started. Oliver putting on the pressure to Chavez now, as we have 10 laps left of this race. These are big point-scoring positions. Chavez, who has not raced here, and TJT Oliver here are on even playing fields now. They'll get a boost in the championship point standings for people who won't finish this race or didn't race in this race, as it is double scoring. Oliver on the inside of the exit at turn number 12, heading into the fast chicane, too wide. Oh, I thought they were too wide. It was just a perspective. But still, Oliver putting on the pressure as they're coming into the final corner, turn number 15. Oliver backing off a little bit, but here, let's see who gets the run out of the final corner. Chavez getting a little bit of a lockup, running to start-finish straight. Oh, Chavez running real wide, and Oliver's going to he's probably going to get the run here. Hopefully he holds on to it, does hold on to it. No contact, and Chavez is going to slide in behind. He's not far behind, though, right on the bumper. Oh, no, Chavez is in the pits. Chavez pitted. Keep an eye on Larry B. the G, who's in the middle of no man's land right now. 12 seconds to Sunshine and 14 to Relampago. If he finishes this race, he's scoring very good points right now. Hope we get him a little bit of a boost in the championship standings as he finished third last race. We'll see how this plays out for Larry B. the G. On board Relampago, holding a solid third position so far. A great drive. Still a lot of race left. We'll see how this plays out. Sorry for the lack of commentary. My voice is a little shredded at the moment. I'm trying to do some admin stuff on the side, as we have the race chilling down a little bit. On board with our leader, LL Mr. Sunshine, at 36 out of 45. We'll let you guys listen to the cars for a few laps. We'll hop on board with every driver so far and watch a hot lap. Unless there's an upset. There always can be one. So here we go. LL Mr. Sunshine into the pits. Hop aboard with Larry B the G. Leslie making their last stops here. Larry B the G is going to take the lead of the race temporarily. Want to close up to the wall to shove it in Sunshine's face. I agree, Mailman. Oliver does need to go faster. He is currently beating Chavez, but Chavez just pitted, so we'll see. They're kind of on off pit strategies, because I believe Oliver got into a wreck after his controller unfortunately disconnected. So we'll have to see how that all plays out. I believe Oliver is faster than Chavez overall so far. We'll have to see how it all plays out. They've got a good bit of racing left to go. On board with Chavez. Chavez having a great run, as always. Ultra Prime into the pits. Larry B the G currently leading the race after Sunshine made a pit stop. 39 out of 45 laps to go. We're rounding out race number 2 of the Race for ALS Charity Championship at Mugello. This is a double point scoring race because it is a longer race. It is an endurance race. Later races in the championship will not be this long, other than the last one, which will be a long race, as it is the season finale. So far, positions are Larry B the G, LL Mr. Sunshine, Relampago, TJT Oliver, Chavez, and Ultra Prime. Wow, what a shake from Chavez there. What a save from the number 69. On board with Ultra Prime. Sticking it into the end, the number 1 of Ultra Prime. The most blinged out Lotus on the grid so far. He's bringing it home. I kind of dig the gold. I hate gold-plated stuff, but I'm not gonna lie, the gold kind of fits on the Lotus. It looks good. Ultra Prime really doesn't have that bad of pace. I think it's just his consistency needs work. What I'm seeing here, he's driving pretty good. He's going to get blue flag procedures here. See how he handles them. As Mr. Sunshine's coming up on Ultra Prime. Oh, Ultra Prime letting him have way. That's how blue flag procedures are supposed to work. Not from the display we saw earlier on in the race. Lap 40 of 45, we have 5 laps to go. On board with our race leader right now, Larry B the G. Is he going to be able to stick out his car to the end of the race? I have to hop on board and see his gas. He's got 38%. I don't think that's going to be enough for 5 laps. He's got to start coasting and lifting now, because if he's able to make this gas last, he's going to have the strategic advantage over LL Mr. Sunshine. 5 laps to go. This car, it's a long track. These cars aren't really known for sucking down fuel very much, but they don't have very large fuel tanks. If he starts lifting and coasting, which you can kind of hear him doing, he might be able to make this fuel last, because he's not going to be able to make it if he pits. He's going to have to sit for us. He might come in 3rd if he pits now. I believe Relampago might also still need to pit. Who is in the pits currently? Is TJT Oliver. We'll have to see if Chavez is able to catch Oliver now. Oliver taking his round of pits for the last 5 laps of race number 2 of the Race for ALS Charity Championship at Mugello. It's going to be pretty close here. Oliver's going to come out pretty far ahead, actually. That was not as close as I thought it would be. Still, that time is going to come down, and they're going to be closer. 7-second gap between Chavez and Oliver now. See how that plays out. It's the race. Hopping on board with the biggest fuel saving run that's going to be needed from Larry B the G now. 34% on lap 41. Wait, how did he gain percentage? Hey, did anybody see that? I'm going to have to clip that. Wasn't he on 33? I'm pretty sure he's on 33. Oh well. 32%. Lap 41 out of 45. If he's able to hold on to this fuel strategy, he's going to win race number 2. Anything can still happen. Still 4 laps to go. A lot can happen in that time. Stay on board with Larry B the G. See if he's able to make it happen. Sunshine is pulling slowly but slight. And Larry, I think he can make this fuel last, but he's gotta start lifting coasting. 30%. He's easy on the. He's lifting and coasting a good bit. He might be able to make it happen, but Sunshine's catching up, and the more he lifts and coasts, the more time he loses. It's going to be really close coming to the end. He's about to round out lap 41 to lap 42. 28%. Seconds split Sunshine and Larry B the G. 21. I'll just round up to 22 seconds split Larry B the G and El Pago. Is he gonna make it happen? Did he get the pit? Did he get the pit strat right on Mr. Sunshine, or did Mr. Sunshine take damage or something? We'll have to figure that out in the post-race interviews after the race. 9 seconds splitting Larry B the G and Sunshine. The more it looks like it, the more he might be able to scrape it on fuel. Maybe him running out of fuel was not a bad strat. Both strategies of him pushing his fuel as far as he go may have just come back to reward him the win of the race. I honestly thought it was a little foolish to push his fuel as far as he did, but look at him. He might be able to do this. %. On the edge of my seat, waiting to see what comes of this. It's just the waiting game now. The gaps are so big, we just have to wait and see if Larry's going to make it on fuel or not. It's looking good so far. But with Forza fuel, it's hard to tell. Why does the gauge thing so busted? It keeps jumping up in fuel. So we might not actually see what he actually has accurately for some reason. About to land on lap number 43. Almost to the penultimate lap. Larry might be able to do this. He might just have enough fuel in his tank to make it. But he's at 20% with about 3 laps to go, including this one. It's going to be extremely close. He might be crossing the line on fumes. What a drive from everyone here today. We've had our drama, we've had our upsets, we've had our crazy close racing, and who's in the pits? Relampago into the pits. Had to pit for fuel. He's going to probably hold his position. Yeah, I think that's Ultra Prime. 19%. We're just ticking down the percentage on his fuel gauge now. Sunshine is pushing 9 seconds split Larry and Sunshine. Pressure of this fuel running out. It's probably starting to get to Larry. Now it's starting to look like it's not going to be possible. 18% with still 2 more laps to go. 17%. This is not looking good for Larry B the G. As at least now, if he does pit, he will get 2nd place, as Relampago is now pit. So he might give up the win if he pits, but he won't give up 2nd place, at least. See, it is going to be extremely close, as he's about to come around the final corner to start the penultimate lap with 16% of fuel. (15% of fuel, I correct myself. And he's staying out. He's staying tried and true. What if he tries to end in the pits? I don't think there's enough time between him and Sunshine to be able to get that done, but maybe he's willing to take that risk as we start the penultimate lap. Next time around, Larry B. the G will be shown the white flag for the final lap of race number 2 of the Mugello RFA Championship race. I think I had a stroke while saying that, but it's a battle on fuel efficiency here, fuel economy. I think he can do it. He's going to be crossing the line on fumes, but I think he can do it. He's starting to get slower, too, as you see Sunshine bringing that gap down even further every lap. And Larry's catching up to lap traffic, which might not be good for him, because lap traffic is going to slow him down if it doesn't get handled properly. And any little bit of slowing down here is going to cost him fuel efficiency. Still, holding an 8-second gap to Sunshine behind. Is Larry going to pull it off? 11% fuel. Around turn number 12 now, up into the braking zone with 10% of fuel left. I think he's going to do it. I have confidence he's going to make it on 10% now. As he got into the pits with 6%, I believe. 9% of fuel remaining for Larry B. the G. It's getting tight. Is he going to stay out or is he going to risk it? He can't afford either. If he pits, well, if he runs out of fuel, he's going to lose more than second position. If he pits now, he's staying out. Larry B. the G is staying out. And the white flag is waving for Larry B. the G, the leader of race number 2 of the Race for ALS Charity Championship. He's on 7% of fuel coming up to turn number 1. This is going to be so close. He's got to make sure he can finish this on the tank of fuel. Still a long lap ahead of him. 7% of fuel remaining for Larry B. the G. Coming through turns number 2 and 3 now. Heading to turns number 4 and 5. 6% of fuel. He's coming up to lap traffic now. Hopefully he doesn't get slowed down. He is slowing down his pace though as Sunshine is catching up a little bit. Turns 3 and 4. Heading to turn 6 and 7. 4 and 5, sorry. Correct myself. 5% of fuel remaining. He's nearly halfway through the lap. I think Larry did it. I think he outsmarted Sunshine and Relampago on fuel strategy by pushing it as far as he could. 4%. It's getting real tight now. It's coming up to turn number 12 very shortly. 4% of fuel left in his tank. I believe that is enough to get him to the finish line. 3% of fuel. Now it's 3%. He's coming through the final fast chicane for the last time. He's heading towards the final corner with 2% of fuel left in his tank. I think this is enough. He will make it. Rounding out the final corner, the checkered flag is starting to wave for Larry B. the G with 2% of fuel. Is coming to cross the line to finish first. For race number 2, 1% of fuel. He might finish on empty. Is he going to finish on empty? 1% of fuel. Larry B. the G wins at Mugello. Race number 2 for the Race for ALS Charity Championship. What an incredible strategy. He ran out of fuel at the end of the straightaway. Mr. Sunshine finishing second with an incredible drive. Unfortunately got outsmarted with pit strategy. Relampago is going to round us out, finish third for our top 3. Still have a battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Going on as they're a bit far behind the leaders. But what an incredible drive from Larry B. the G. An incredible performance. Even after getting into those few incidents early on. Relampago finishes third for race number 2 of Mugello. the RFA Championship. Now I hop on board with Oliver, who has a pretty good lead from Chavez here. They both went back and forth a lot this race. Both had great drives. It looks like TJT Oliver is going to finish above Chavez, though. What an incredible strategy from Larry B. the G. I can't wait to ask him about that in the interview. And it looked like Sunshine was going to win for a while until Larry pulled out, finishing on 1% of fuel at the finish line. What an incredible strategy. See TJT Oliver finishing the final turn of Mugello on the start-finish straight, number 33, heading towards the start-finish line, and the checkered flag is waving. TJT Oliver comes fourth in his first race of the RFA Championship, hopping on board with Chavez, doing a little drift in the final corner, finishing fifth. Whoa, 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 Chavez losing it there. Ooh, Chavez showboating across the line. As much as we love it, I believe he might get a warning for that. And we hop on with Ultra Prime to round out our grid. He's a few laps down. We'll keep on board with him while we finish up this race. And that is the end of race number 2 of the Race for ALS Charity Championship. Alright, give us a few minutes. We'll read the provisional results once we have post-race announcements done. Alright, welcome back. We're going to read the provisional results from race number 2 of the Race for ALS Championship. And our provisional results: Larry B. the G with an incredible pit strategy on fuel to win first place. Another win at NBR, beating out LL Mr. Sunshine, followed by Relampago. Following up, fourth is TJT Oliver, and fifth, Chavez. Unfortunately, not able to finish the race was Ultra Prime due to the finish counter. Still an incredible drive from him. Props to him for finishing the race. LMP Juicebox was a DNF due to something else, and Zeus was disqualified from the race for multiple rule infractions. Alright, stay tuned for post-race interviews. Larry, what an incredible finish. Just with enough fuel to finish that race. Even after some incidents early on and nearly running out of fuel early on, you still managed to pull through and finish. What an incredible drive. What are your thoughts about it?
Yeah, that was certainly an up and down race. I think really the big moment was on lap 14 when both Sunshine and Relampago were pinned. I kind of had to. I knew it was going to be close on fuel on that lap. I was probably going to run out, but I knew from the numbers probably be able to save and make it into a 2-stop. So at that point, I just started doing big boy lifts just to make it back to the pits. And I think I ran out like right before the final chicane, and then I limped it back, and I was looking at the gaps. And I started lifting coast into turn 1, doing lift and coast other places. I was kind of like, yeah, this is possible. I think I'm gonna make it. And then as soon as Sunshine pit on lap 28 again, that's when I knew, all right, yeah, we're bringing this home.
And that moment was just it was just perfect. It almost felt like it was perfectly planned because you finished on 1% fuel. I was
Yep.
watching the whole thing, watching that ticker go down every lap. I didn't think you were going to do it, but
Yeah, I was just kind of
what an incredible fuel
I was pretty
strategy.
much just looking at I was pretty much just looking at every lap, like this is the number I need to hit, this is the number I'm looking for, and it's kind of like it started going up, like all right, I'm point two to the good, point four to the good, point six to the good, and then on the last lap, I just full sent it because I knew I was fine to make it.
Incredible. Congrats on another win with NBR and your first win of the RFA Championship. You're going to get double points for this one, so this is a really big win for the championship. Congrats.
Thank you.
All right, next in line, LL Mr. Sunshine. Another second place in the RFA Championship. Beaten out by Larry B. the G. How does it feel? How did that ending feel?
Uh, it was both depressing and exciting at the same time because I think in the majority of league races that Larry and I compete in, he's always tried to beat me on strategy because I don't usually pay attention to it. So I'm like super happy for him because it finally paid off. But at the same time, I'm definitely not too proud.
You were leading a majority of that race for only a few hiccups here and there early on, but it looked like you had the win in the bag until I noticed he didn't stop at the end. He was just kept going, and I was like, I saw you pushing hard on the times at the bottom left. It just looked like he was about to do the impossible, and he did.
Yeah, after the second pit stop when Larry went like 2 laps longer, I was a little suspicious that that's what he was going to try and do. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't positive because like it was I didn't think that it was possible really, and it turns out like he was saying that he was lifting and coasting a lot, which is something I was not. Like I figured you didn't have to do it as much as he would, and then he committed to it and just made it work. But like
Mm-hmm.
when I after my second pit stop, I was paying attention to my fuel and realized that I didn't have enough to go to the end, and I was kind of suspicious that Larry might. So I figured I should pit super early. So that's why I pit like kind of back to back. I think it was like 2 or 3 laps apart, really. And
Mm.
I was like, I'll just bite the bullet. That'll give me the most amount of time to catch up to Larry. And if he does pit again, then it literally didn't matter. Like I'll be in
You get the
the car.
position.
Will be in the prime. I'll be fine. And I was pushing because I was like, man, if he doesn't have to pit, he's got to be just something crazy. So like I was abusing the curbs, like trying to keep it clean. I was running like I ran 59.8 like 3 laps in a row. My hands have never been so
Jeez.
sweaty. Every other league race I've done has never compared to how hard I had to push this race. And Larry's out here to coast to a win, 11 seconds ahead of me. Just completely out strategized that one. So I mean, like he earned that race. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was pretty much just like from the start, I knew the magic number was 15. I was like, even from the start, I knew it was gonna be close. I was like, I think even before, like around lap 11, I started doing like little lifts to try and set up that that one lap where I was gonna have to bite the bullet and really coast it.
yeah, I was just pushing the whole time. So I used the max amount of fuel. Oh,
It proves that strategy is important.
it does.
Congrats on the second place, though. Still big points,
Yep.
as this is a double points race. Hopefully, you can come back to get Larry next race.
Well, yeah, it's shaping up to be a good
We'll see.
championship. So
You guys have been really close on pace the entire time. I'm really surprised how close it's been, especially with Relampago there too. He was racing with y'all really closely early on. One of you would make a mistake and he'd kind of push the train back together. It was awesome to see.
yeah,
Love to see you back
I had
next
that
week.
quick change gear ratio. I was in the fight all the way up until we started to train together. I need to
Mm.
adjust my gearing because both Larry and Relampago had way better gearing than me. So props to them.
All right, thank you for racing tonight. Great to have you. And next on the list is, I believe, we don't have Relampago in here, so it's going to be TJT Oliver. Great race, battle between you and Chavez. It looks like you got the better end of it, though. We want to talk about how you feel about this race?
Well, first of all, I want to congratulate Larry. I know how much it means to beat Sunshine, and so I know that it was very well earned. I knew basically from lap 15 that he was going to do it. Um, so I was just like watching that, and the whole time just kind of wondering like how if Sunshine was going to be able to overcut that or not, and unfortunately, Larry got the dub. So congratulations to him, first of all. We'll throw that out there. Chavez and I, we went back and forth the whole time. It was really good racing between the two of us. I think he had said that he got some engine damage at one point, and that kind of hampered his race.
Oh.
And then my controller disconnected on lap 22, so I went straight into the wall. It didn't do any damage, but it did cost a lot of time to get everything back going again. And so that put me, when I pit again, behind him. And then I think I'd caught him in the final chicane and was pulling on him, and then he pit. And so I just tried to stick it out as long as I could to see if I could get some kind of overcut him a bit, and then it worked out. And so very grateful for that, but also very grateful for some good racing between me and Chavez as always.
It looked like a great drive from both of you. You guys had some good moments. Hope to see you back maybe next week?
I think so.
We'll see. Really? Okay. I think we coerced you into racing with RFA.
I really like the car. I think it's the car that did it for me.
Nice. I was hoping that people would say that because I really love this car and build. It drives like a dream.
Agreed.
Also, thank you for hosting tonight.
Anytime.
Appreciate it. Yeah, hope to see you next week. And next is Chavez. Another great race, another battle between Oliver and you. You had great pace. Fortunately, it didn't work out in the end. What happened?
It was a really fun battle between me and Oliver. At the first, how it was interesting because I had to watch not to go too fast and ruin my own race trying to catch up and not battle too much because Oliver was looking way faster behind. As soon as he got the clean air, he got the open hand, so my strategy was basically at the beginning bit early, try to undercut him. It kind of worked out for the first pit stop. Second pit stop, I got some damage when I was close to undercutting him. So after that, it was like a straight up fight. And for the third stint, he got the better end of it. I think he got more comfortable with the car. At the final stint, I got slower, but a great battle. It was really close, intense, and it was fair.
Yeah, you had a great drive out there. Even battling with Juicebox a little bit. You were holding him off a few laps. It's all that. It was a great performance.
Yeah, fun race. I really like the long, so I'll be here next week.
Love to hear it. Alright, thank you for racing with us. And last but not least, Ultra Prime. Is he still in here? Oh, yay. You drove up to the end. Unfortunately, the timer got to you, but congrats on driving the whole way. I know it's not fun being in last, but still, how did you feel with the car? Oh, yeah, that might do it. Do you feel like you improved at all for the? That's awesome to hear. Really love that. I mean, this is a good car to learn on, especially the game mechanics, because it can be tricky, but if you treat it right, the car is going to be, rock solid sticking to the road. Yeah. You had a great drive. Unfortunately, the DNF timer gotcha. It was so close, too. So unfortunately, no points. However, still, get the honor and respect for finishing that all out from everyone. Because even if it says you got a DNF on the timer, I think everybody here says you finished that race. Yeah, you were right there. Congrats on another great race finished. I hope to see you next week. And that's all I got. Thank you all for doing the interviews, and thank you all for racing tonight. I'll see you all next time. Alright, thank you all for watching. That was race number 2 of the RFA Race for ALS Charity Championship at Mugello. For more information about our and how to donate, please hit the description or the comments below to find our donation link. We are doing a fundraiser for the ALS Association to raise funds and awareness for what the ALS Association does. The ALS Association is supporting research and support for those suffering with ALS. We're doing this championship to raise awareness and funds to the ALS Association. Any funds or donations, any proceeds made from this championship will be going directly to the ALS Association. Drivers can compete to win a copy of the new Forza Motorsport coming in October. Prizes are limited to United States residents only, and top 20 at the end of the championship will be rewarded with this beautiful livery we see behind us, which is going to be exclusive to 20 people, and 20 people alone. 20 people in this game will only be able to own this livery. Thank you all for watching. I'm Gabriel Woodward, and I'm signing out.